Welcome to the Radiant Life podcast. I am your host, Tatiana, and I am a master mindset coach, and I'm obsessed with empowering you to live and create your best life possible. If you're looking to uplevel your mindset, life, happiness, and success, then you are in the right place. My goal with this podcast is to help you see the potential within yourself, to be able to break the limiting beliefs and habits that are holding you back, and to help you feel inspired to get clear with who you are in order to create the life you desire. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome to the Radiant Life podcast. I'm so excited to have you here today, and I'm even more excited to share a special announcement with you guys before we dive into today's episode. The doors have finally opened for enrollment for applications to my signature 4-month group coaching program, Embrace Your Radiance. We will be starting on September 13th, and I've created this program for you to be able to help you discover your true purpose and voice, to turn your passions into your career, to gain confidence in yourself and to feel good in your skin, to improve the relationship with yourself and others by learning to set boundaries in a loving, aligned way, and to end people pleasing, to learn how to truly love yourself and find the worth within, to know that you are capable of manifesting your dreams into your reality. If you've been feeling deep down in your core that you are made for more, to make an impact, but are unsure how or where to start, this is the place to do it. If you're ready to master your mindset, let go of the past and what no longer serves you, ready to get clear with who you are and rewrite your story to be able to manifest your dreams into reality, this is the program for you. It's going to be the perfect way to step into 2022. We only have about 4.5 months left of this year. So what better time than now to get confident in yourself, to gain clarity in the direction your life is going, and so much more. Apply today with the link in the description box below. The last day for applications will be on September 11th as we start September 13th. And please note that this is an intimate group coaching program, so spots are limited. And if you want to hear testimonials from some of the ladies in the last round, go to my Instagram page, Tatiana_Kuto, where I will be sharing their words on their experience in the weeks to come. I'm so excited to have you inside. Go ahead and use the link in the bio to apply. And now let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome to the Radiant Life podcast. Today's going to be a good episode. I can just feel it in my bones. I'm so excited to talk on this. If you have been hearing this trend word manifestation on Instagram, you can tell it's a trend word. Maybe you haven't, so welcome. Let's talk about it. And maybe you heard my previous episodes on why your manifestations aren't coming true, or what is manifestations. And if you haven't listened to those 2 episodes yet, highly encourage you do so before you press play on this one, where we're going to be talking about how to manifest. I just feel like it's such a big topic, and I really want to share about my experience, my process of doing it, how I teach my clients and whatnot. And obviously, there's only so much depth I can go to in an episode, right? It's going to be a bite size for you to start applying today. And of course, I go 10 times deeper into it in my coaching programs, which we are open for enrollment right now for Embrace Your Radiance group program, where we spend at least 1 to 2 weeks on this and working specifically for you. So if you listen to this and at the end you're like, I want to learn more, I'm ready to just start taking control of my life and manifest my dreams into my reality, make sure you apply and join before September 11th, because we start September 13th. Well, let's get into it. So let me just reiterate, what is manifestation? So manifestation is another word for law of attraction, which, explains how frequencies are magnetized to one another. I'm gonna give you a few definitions here to see what sticks for you, because everything in the universe is energy, and it exists as a magnet that is constantly attracting towards you what is on that same energy frequency wavelength. I don't know if you remember in science class when we talked about radio waves or the microwaves, think about those wavelengths. Those are frequencies. That's energy being transmitted, just so you can create a visual here. And it's the concept that like attracts like. What you focus on expands. Where your energy flows, it comes to you, right? And essentially, it's the ability to attract into our lives whatever it is we are focusing on. And it's a universal law. There's plenty of universal laws. I love talking about this because, we have the law of gravity, right? You know it's there, you know it exists, you can't actually see it, but you know it's there. It's the same thing, a law of attraction. And I used to not believe in it. I'll talk about that in a second here. Not believing it, I just thought it was a little woo-woo. But it's the basic that all thoughts turn into things eventually, right? Everything stems from a thought. And we, as humans, it's our birthright to live out the desires in our heart. And we are human magnets, sending out our desires based on our wavelengths of where our thoughts are going. And it's based on our thoughts and emotions. And we will attract, because we are powerful human beings, back to us what we are putting out in the world. Does that make sense? And I want to talk on this misconception that people have. And some people think that manifestation is taking God's role, or, we're being in control as humans because we're trying to, quote unquote, take control of our external world, right? When in reality, it's taking control of the internal, what's going on inside of our heads and our hearts, that then gets reflected into our external. So it's not about taking control of those and things around us. It's about taking control within to then manifest into our physical reality. And essentially, it's just the byproduct of our internal state of being. And that can happen when you're in and out of alignment. You feel me? I tried to give you different ways of what is manifestation? What is the law of attraction, right? And before I continue, I want to acknowledge where I was at. So back in 2017 is when I first stumbled upon this whole concept. I was reading the book The Secret. There's a movie out on it. And I was kind of okay, this sounds a little woo-woo. Is this witchcraft? I grew up, in the church. I was I don't want to go anything against God, and I'll share how it's not against God and it's actually biblical here. It's in every religion, just different ways of saying it, right? And I thought it was woo-woo, but hear me out. I was sitting in the Dominican Republic and I was reading the book and I was okay, cool. At this time, I was in engineering, I was working in corporate, and I wanted to become a personal trainer, eventually online coach. So as I was doing that, I was visualizing myself already having that. How would it feel? What would it look like, right? And months later, not even. I came back in August and I got the job as a personal trainer in September. I got certified in November. They let me internish. And then July 2018 is when I quit my job and I started my online coaching. So this shit works. And this is why it's so powerful. This is why I include it in every single coaching program that I offer my clients. And so I did think it was a little bit woo, but it's not. Because again, the law of attraction is simply the ability to attract into our lives whatever we are focusing on. And that is taking control of our thoughts, our beliefs, our stories, and our feelings. And so at first I thought this wasn't, I grew up in the church, so I didn't think it was godly. I was is this woo-woo? Is this witchcraft? Am I going to get myself into bad state? No, it's actually in the Bible. They say in Matthew 21:22, anything that you ask in a prayer, believe that it will be given to you. The saying ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. Yeah, this is how manifestation works. This is biblical, right? And that's in Matthew 7:7 if you want to hear that quote of ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. So it is in every religion. So let's get into manifestation. So manifesting, you are manifesting 24/7, whether you realize it or not. And this is why I want to talk on this so you can take control of it, because I don't want you to freak out, but you can manifest what you don't want just as much as you can manifest what you do want, right? And I before I get into it deeply, I need you to acknowledge where you're at. Whether this is the first time you're hearing this word or you've learned a little bit about it before, you need to acknowledge where you're at. Because you're at based, whether you're happy right now or not, you need to take the responsibility of I'm where I am now based on my previous actions, my previous thoughts, my previous feelings, XYZ, right? We need to take responsibility for our lives, for everything that we've done in our current life. Because if we cannot choose to take responsibility now, you're not going to choose to take the responsibility going forward. And in order to manifest, you must realize you need to be at the cause side of your life, not the effect, not the results, not blaming XYZ. You are at cause for everything. And when you can take that responsibility and that ownership, that's when you can make a change in your life. And so I always tell my clients, like, you know, do you know someone who made money in a bad economy? Yeah, you do. There's people out there that did. Do you know somebody who lost money in a good economy? Yeah. Everybody's at cause side. Everybody is responsible for their actions, their thoughts, and their beliefs that have manifested into their reality. Whether it is you are happy with where you're at or not, it still is a byproduct of what was going on internally. And so when you can take responsibility of that, that's when we can move forward. Okay? Are we in agreement here before we move on, for the good and for the bad? Because when we take responsibility, that's when we're taking back power and control for our lives. You are responsible for your reactions to life. You are responsible for your thoughts and your stories and your healing. And when you can do that, that's when you can take control. Okay, sound good? So you're at responsibility now. We know it's not woo-woo. You hear my story. And so manifestation is working for us 24/7. Whether we like it or not, it's happening. Just like the law of gravity is 24/7. And this can happen when you are thinking of the desires of you, even if you don't want it, right? So this is why doing the inner work is crucial, and becoming aware of your thoughts so that you're not thinking about what you don't want, because that's going to manifest into your life. Like, how many times are you like, oh my God, I don't want to be late for work. I don't want to be late. Oh my God. And you're late. Or, oh, I really hope I don't spill this coffee on my dress. Don't spill it. Don't spill it. And then you spill it, right? Your subconscious mind, even the universe, like, doesn't understand or process the word not or don't. So when it hears don't be late, it just hears, okay, be late. Let's create opportunities, situations for that to happen because they think you want to be late, right? Your subconscious mind takes everything literally. So we want to use this for the positive. We want to use this for you to take control of your life for what it is you do want and not want. And a big misconception is like, it's not about being positive all the time. It's not. It's okay to have negative emotions. It's okay to have a negative thought. Like, the positive outrules the negative thought. Well, if you think of a negative thought of what you don't want after listening to this, don't freak out, because we're in the 3D world. You're not going to manifest it in a second here. Like, thank God, right? Because that would be bad. But you do want to focus on what you want. You want to focus on about getting aligned with who you are, your core beliefs and values, and becoming an energetic match to what it is you do want to attract in your life. Make sense? So you don't attract what it is you do not want. Cool. Sound good? So again, we need to be at responsibility. We need to be at the I cause side. And realizing we need to take control of our thoughts and our feelings and actions, because that's what happens. All right, you ready to get into the steps of manifesting? Are you ready? I hope so. Cool. First, number one step. You must decide what you want. And how do you know what you want? Well, you need to know who you are. And not who you are of what you do for a job. You need to know who you are to then make sure you know what you want. So take a step back here. If you don't really know who you want, how do you know? If you don't really know who you are, how can you know what you truly want? And when you make sure you think about this, because are you wanting things to look good for others? Are you wanting things because Sally has this new Louis Vuitton bag? You know what I mean? Just be intentional here. And a great way to learn what you want is by experiencing what we don't want. Or when we look at others, we can say, oh, I'm jealous of her. Okay, cool. If you're feeling jealous of someone, jealousy usually shows it's because they have something you don't, and that's a great indicator of, okay, cool, maybe I do want that. Maybe I do want that lifestyle of Tati, because she just gets to work wherever she wants, on her computer, on her terms, and I'm just jealous. I want to do that. Cool. You just identified what you wanted through jealousy, and that's okay. So learning from what we don't want, when we date people, we learn what we do and what we don't want in that next person we date. So taking note of that. And so during this first step, when we decide what we want, we must speak what we want and in the positive. Remember how I said your subconscious doesn't know the word not and don't? This is what I mean by this. So if you're saying, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to get hurt, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be fat, you're going to be broke, you're going to get hurt. Instead of saying, I don't want to be fat, be like, I want to be healthy and energized and happy in my body. Instead of, I don't want to be broke, I want to have money flowing to me endlessly, or I want to earn 10K a month. Get specific here, right? I don't want to get hurt. I want to experience love and find my perfect partner forever. And start small. Use the ladder of believability. So if you're trying to, get healthy, instead of being like, if it doesn't seem realistic or attainable for you, of like, wow, I released 30 pounds, be like, cool, I want to be healthy and energized. You don't have to get, super thing, and then be like, I released 2 pounds. Cool. When you release that 2 pounds, scratch it off. Cool. Now 5 pounds, and slowly go up the ladder. If that helps you believe it, that you're getting what you want. And then you can stretch it big, and then you can go bigger, right? And when you think of the things that you want to make sure it feels good. It feels expansive. It feels exciting for you. Because if it starts to feel negative or restricted, or if you have the belief that it's not possible, then you're already blocking the manifestation from coming into your reality. You must believe it's possible for you. So that's why I say start small. If you want to have $1 million business, okay, cool. If you haven't even started the business yet, then start small. I want to earn 10K in my business. So then you can feel that. What you can feel the feelings of making 10K versus $1 million, because it feels more realistic. So start small here. And again, if you're sitting here like, I don't know what I truly want, or I don't know if I think I know what I want, but maybe it's not actually what I want. Is it because of others? That's when you got to do the deep inner work here. That's when you need to release, what are others' expectations of you? Release whatever it is that you've put in your mind, and discover who you are by letting go of the self-doubt, of people's projections. And this is what we cover in my coaching program. It's practically, my Embrace Your Radiance is learning who you are, learning what you want, and learning how to manifest your desires into the program within 16 weeks. And because this shit takes time, it's 4 months for a reason. But I can guarantee you, if you do the work in the program, you'll get what you want. So if you're sitting here like, I need to figure out a little bit more of who I am, what I want, my purpose, link is in the description box. Go ahead, click. Let's apply. Okay, so first step is decide what you want. Second step is decide why you want it. This is so important. This is why when I talk to clients or potential clients, we talk about our goals, right? What do you want? Well, then why do you want it? Because you need to have a strong enough why to make sure you're doing what you need to do to get there, right? And do you want this because your best friend has it and you want it too? So is that actually your true desire? I used to want things and it wasn't actually what I wanted, but it was because I didn't know who I was. I was so confused. I was so lost. I was constantly just trying to fit in and fit people's expectations in a mold. You guys, I got a degree in engineering to do what everybody else was telling me to do. You got to figure out what it is you want and why you want it. Why do you want it? What would this goal or desire of yours allow you to do? What would you lose? What would you gain by having it? How will it feel having it? What is the bigger purpose? Is it for me? Is it for others? You got to get deep here and ask why, like 5 times. Okay, cool. Why do I want this? And after each time you come up with the answer, ask why again, so you can get to the root. Because maybe you want that new BMW, but maybe it's really just so you can feel worthy and feel good enough. Ooh, okay. So you actually want to feel good enough and worthy versus the actual BMW. You can still have the BMW, but at least you brought awareness to that feeling you're missing deep down, right? So why do you want to release 10 pounds? So you can feel energized and confident, be a happy role model to your children, and you can play around and you can just feel good and, be comfortable having, sex with your partner, whatever it is. Get deep. Why do you want 10K a month? So you can pay your bills, so you can donate, so you can have your own apartment and move out of your parents. Cool. Why do you want to fall in love? So you can give and receive love and make a family and have a better future going forward from where you were in the past. You know what I mean? You got to figure out why you want it for you. These are just examples. Step 3. A little bit hard on this one. This is where I get to have fun with my clients here. But you got to release the how, and you got to release the when you're going to get it. This is a major key. You got to be detached from the outcome and knowing that it's coming to you when it's meant to come to you. And if not that, something better. And some people say, it's good to have a timeline for your manifestations. In 12 months from now, I want X, Y, Z. Okay, cool. But I want to give you permission that when you think of a desire and you put a timeline on it, if you feel restricted, if you feel resistance, if you feel like it's not expansive and like you feel rushed, then don't put a timeline. If putting a timeline helps you do the work that you need to do, then cool. Everyone's different. And this is why like I can only go so deep in this episode, because everybody has a little bit of a different manifestation process, right? I'm gonna be that real. What works for me specifically doesn't work for all my clients. And this is why I love getting to work with each one of them specifically to understand their skills, how their brain operates. Are you a visual learner? Are you auditory? Are you a feeling? Like we're all made differently, right? So, okay, coming back to it. It is not your job to know the how and the when. That is God, that is universe's job. Your job is to know the what and the why. So you can put like an order into the universe. This is what I want, and this is why I want it. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to be open to receiving it in so many different ways, however it needs. Because if you're attached to the how you're going to get it, you're blocking opportunities for it to come into your reality in a way that's perfect for you that you may have not even been able to think about, right? So you want to release weight. Cool. You have to exercise, you have to do nutrition. Great. But maybe a coach, a therapist comes into your, what is it called? Sphere. And you start talking about some shit that happened to you as a child or releasing some trauma, and bam, you release trauma, and that can help you release the weight because maybe you deep down didn't feel worthy or good enough, and you worked through that, not just through exercise and nutrition. And I say that because that has helped so many of my clients. Maybe you want the money of the job. Think about it this way. Okay, cool. I want to make 10K and I'm going to get it from clients. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can get it from clients or you can get it from your salary. But what if you get a promotion? What about thinking that you overpaid rent or you overpaid something and you got a refund in the mail? Oh my God, you weren't expecting that, right? Or maybe your grandparents sold their house and they wanted to give you $3,000. If you're so attached to the how, then you're blocking opportunities of like, there's no way to explain this. It just happened because it's meant to happen that way to come into your sphere. Right? Does this make sense? You have to acknowledge this. You have to realize you are not in control of the how and the why. The how and the when, excuse me. Because if it didn't come the way it planned, it came the way it's meant to. Think about it like this. You can get from Boston to California in how many different ways? The possibilities are endless, and our brains cannot see all the possibilities. God and universe is working behind the scenes to have it work perfectly for you. So you need to have trust, and you need to release the how and the when. Fourth step, you must take inspired and aligned action. The part that people don't get. Because so many people think, okay, cool. Once I decide what I want and I write it down and maybe I meditate on it and I visualize it and I create a vision board and I journal, it's just going to come to me, right? That soulmate's just going to come to me, but you have to get out of the house to meet the soulmate. I got to release the weight, but you can't sit on the couch and not exercise and eat healthy to release the weight. You need to make the money, but you got to do the work. You are a co-creator in this part. You need to take inspired action to get to where you want to go. And you need to become that energetic match to do it. So what does this look like? This looks like exercising, eating, asking for help and guidance. Maybe you hire a business mentor. Maybe you hire a life coach. You do the inner work to release what's no longer serving you. Maybe you go out of the house on the weekends and stop staying in to go meet people. Maybe you do market research. You got to take the action. I remember when I was reading the book, The Secret, I told my dad about it and he was like, I read the book and it's great and all, but I just don't like that people think that they just sit there, they create a visual in their mind and bam, it's going to happen at one point. And, he was right. People do perceive it that way. And that's why people don't believe in it because they think it's just supposed to happen to them. Like, okay, cool. No, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. Inner work, baggage work, the work to get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just sit here and have my business or podcast going if I didn't sit down and record the podcast or reach out and share my message to gain clients. You got to do the work. And when you do the work and take the action, you need to make sure it's lighting you up. If you feel like it's I should do this, I need to do this, you're coming from a force energy, reevaluate. Maybe you're in the wrong way. You want to feel good. You want to feel excited. You want to feel inspired to do it. A good exercise you can do is just writing out all the possibilities of how you can have what you want, all the things, you could do to get there, just to expand your mind and get creative of all the possibilities of the work that you could do, right? Which one lights you up the most, and start doing that. Which one brings you joy? Cool. 5th step. You must become the energetic match to your desires. This is the one where my coaching program goes in depth, because you need to become the energetic match. And how do you do that? Well, first you need to let go of the baggage, the trauma, the stuff in the past, the stories you're telling yourself, the patterns, the habits that no longer serve you, the limiting beliefs that are holding you back, so you can step into this version of yourself, of this energetic match, of this version of you that already has the desires, right? This is the hardest one to grasp and teach, honestly, because there's just way too much to teach in a podcast episode. But I'm going to try to give you a rundown of how to do this. I would say, if you want to learn more on this, on how to become an energetic match and the energies and how to do all this, the coaching program is for you. But for now, to do this, we need to do some work, right? So for today, ask yourself, who must I become to have XYZ, whatever your desire is? How would that version of me show up today? And just start showing up like that. Because you're going to attract what you are putting out in the world, that energetic frequency. So if you aren't showing up as a 6-figure business owner, as a good soulmate for your partner, as a woman or man who feels good, feels energized, and believes in themselves, and eats healthy and works out, how are you going to get those desires? You must be. I have a podcast episode on that, of the number one philosophy I live by. You must be, and then you do, and then you have. And our society has it wrong. They think you have to have, and then do, and then be. You have to have the dream body to feel confident or be confident. You have to have the 6-figure business to then feel and be successful. No, it's the opposite. Get into that frequency. Get into that vibrational, energetic match to the desires, so they just come to you faster. And this is the hardest one to do. It's the hardest one to grasp. Sorry, but at least I'm giving it to you, right? And cool, the last step is detaching from the outcome, surrendering, and having faith. You must have the belief in yourself. You must have the faith that it's coming to you. You must just have the trust in God and universe that it's coming to you. It just is. So during the meantime, be excited with your vision. Be excited with the why. Enjoy the journey and the process. Surrender, knowing that you already declared what you want, but maybe something better is coming, and that will make you 10 times happier, right? Be excited that it's coming. Act as if it's already yours. Because if you don't get what it is you want, something better always will come. And you have to have faith. You have to have belief in yourself, and you have to trust, because it always works in the 11th hour. Always. Right when you're about to give up. Right when this is why timelines, for me, I don't really genuinely love timelines that much, but it comes in the 11th hour. And this comes from, a lot of inner work, maybe because maybe you don't have trust in yourself or belief. But this is the step. You got to do it. You just got to believe in it. So, and just making sure you're not blocking yourself. So act as if it's yours. Act as if it's coming, that your prayers and manifestations are already coming to you. They're already here. So act as if it's already yours. How would you show up? Tap into that emotion. Journal it out. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Because in order to manifest, you have to identify what it is you want, why you want it, and you must feel what it would feel like to have that, so you can get in that energetic frequency. And that's a missing link, is you got to tap into the emotion. You got to tap into that feeling of what it would look like and feel like for you when these desires of yours come into your reality. Does that make sense? And there's so many different techniques that we can, touch on to help you become aligned, to help you become an energetic match, to help you release the baggage. There's journaling, there's meditation, the easy ones to start off with. There's tapping, there's hypnosis, there's scripting, there's subliminals, vision boards. These are things I do with my clients. These are things that we go deeper in depth with. But right now, these are the steps. Journal it out. What do you want? Why do you want it? How does it feel? Visualize and meditate on it and start taking inspired action. Become that match, right? And surrender and trust. And remember, if someone has what you want, then it can be yours too. And even if no one has it yet, who's to say that you can't have it? You could be the first one. Elon Musk, Benjamin Franklin, Henry Ford. What do you think they did? They believed in themselves. They had the vision, and they just kept going for it. it can be yours. And I wholeheartedly believe that the desires in your heart aren't a mistake. They were placed there for a reason because they are meant to be yours. And now it's your choice to believe and do what you need to do to get there or not. This is how you manifest, guys. This is like the simple way that I could put it for you. I love this. I love this because you are worthy of your desires. You are worthy of having everything that you want. It takes time. I've been learning about this since 2017. What is it, 2021? Like, I'm just getting better each year. And the more lessons I go through and the more I learn, I continue to invest in myself and mentors to continue to learn more things. I get to share with my clients. I get to share with you guys. And if you're sitting here like, wow, this is cool, I want to learn more. I want to more know who I am or what my purpose is, or how can I turn my passions into my career, or how can I learn more about being this person that I want to be and letting go of what doesn't serve me. If you want to learn more about, manifesting like way more in depth, plenty of different tools to get there, sign up, join, embrace your radiance. This is the last round of 2021. It's my baby. I love it. All the clients who joined the last round didn't have the belief in themselves. They were like, how can I make that much change in 4 months? How can I reach my goals in 4 months? And they did it. They got promotions. They made more money. They started a business. They bought a house. They spoke their truth. I'm trying to think of other things. They found a new job, a new apartment. Like, all of their goals that they set before the program, they achieved or were on track to do it. And now, like, I just checked in on them and they're flourishing because they tapped into who they are. They let go of what didn't serve them and they learned how to do and be based on their desires. You can have this too. So I invite you to apply. Let's see if it's a good fit for you. Join. Imagine how good it's going to feel starting 2022, because that's when it's going to end, is in January, knowing who you are, what you want, and how to get there. Okay, cool. Now you can finally reach your goals and desires and stop having the same New Year's Eve goals every single year, right? This program is epic. I love it. It's my baby, and I invite you to join and apply because it's going to change your life. I can guarantee that. As long as you do what it says to do, it will do that for you. So if you want to learn more, you can click the link in the description box below. I would love to have you on there. And if you're listening to this after the September 13th start date, I still welcome and invite you to join. You can send me an email or apply for the link, either if you want one-on-one coaching, because that's way more intimate and in-depth, or join the waitlist for the next round. You're more than welcome to do that, depending on when you hear this. But do it. You are worthy of your desires. I believe in you. It's time for you to believe in yourself. All right? Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you loved this episode. I hope this energized you to start taking control of your life. If you loved it, take a screenshot, share on Instagram. I love when I see your shares. It makes me so happy that you're listening. It makes this podcast get shown to so many more people. And I love it because we're going to change the world by first changing ourselves and sharing others that they can do it too. You inspire others by sharing your light, sharing your journey. And I hope you had a lot of takeaways from this. Share, tag me on Instagram, Tatiana_Couto. If you want to apply, the link will be in the description box below. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with me and write an Apple iTunes review so I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't following me already, you can find me on Instagram at Tatiana_Couto. I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to see you in the next episode. In the meantime, continue to shine bright and embrace your radiance.